Welcome to this very special Sunday edition of the GTAS podcast being recorded on the 7th of January 2018. It's a new year, and this is our first show of the new year.
Yeah,
and I'm joined, as always, by my co-host, the debaucherous Adam Miller. Adam, how are you today?
I'm doing good.
You doing well?
Yeah.
Did you do anything for New Year's Eve?
No.
You didn't do anything? You just sat around?
I just fucking sat home.
Oh, you're such a loser.
I think I played Final Fantasy 14 and GTA for a little while.
Wow, you're a real winner there, Adam.
I'm an adult with responsibilities.
So am I. But I don't work on New Year's Day, so... I didn't do anything New Year's Day. But, you know.
See, that's the thing. I didn't do anything New Year's night, so I got to stay up till like 3 a.m. and then also get up at 7 a.m. on New Year's Day and then do more shit.
Sounds like a blast. Well, here you go, Adam. You know how you don't celebrate a New Year? Going and posting videos of you filming dead bodies.
Oh, yeah, dude. That video was fucking terrible.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about what everybody's talking about. We're a little late to the game on it. But, I mean, it only happened around, last week. But the whole Logan Paul controversy of him going to the Aokigahara forest in Japan.
Oh, that's not all he did.
Yeah, we'll get into it. Yeah. But let's talk about the main one.
Yeah, that's the big controversy is that he has a channel that's aimed towards children.
Yeah, not children, but definitely
young people.
Below the age of, 20. I'd say is 18. I'll go below 18.
I think his primary demographic is 12 to 16.
Yeah, about that. I've seen videos of him where he's doing splits in front of people, and it's stupid, but it was harmless before. It's I had no problem. His brother Jake Paul is just known to be a total douchebag online.
Didn't he have a fucking contract with Disney or something? His brother?
Logan Paul?
No, his brother.
Oh, it's Paul?
I think he had a contract with Disney that he fucked up by being an asshole.
It wouldn't shock me. I mean, but it seems like the Paul family the dumb apple doesn't fall very far from the dumb tree. And he has 15 million subscribers, more than this channel will ever, even, may I repeat, ever see.
Yeah, I don't think that we're even really shooting for that. We're shooting for a more realistic goal, 10.
Yeah. Can we get to that 10th subscriber? I'd love it.
Yeah.
But, so Adam, the big deal with him is that he went to the Aokigahara forest, and it's also known as the Sea of Trees. It's a very popular site in Japan, right around the foot of Mount Fuji, where...
people go to commit suicide.
A lot of people go and commit suicide
I'm
there.
well aware of it,
Yeah, but anyone who's not...
It's not a tourist destination unless you're a fucking shithead.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see it, I guess, on the shithead, but not because, apparently it's a really, just, because it was in Mount Fuji, the whole ground is all kind of
it's like volcanic soil.
Yeah, so it's
really fertile for the trees. That's why they have such plentiful, foliage there.
Yeah, it's nice to go look at it. But what he was doing
I don't think I'd be walking around in the woods looking for a dead body. Or
no,
he probably wouldn't even enter the woods.
I think once you go through, there's, paths.
Yeah.
And then if you step off the beaten path, then that's where you're, gonna... Because these people who go there... I mean, Japan had to go on, a silence trip and stop even talking about reports there because they thought it was promoting it. And...
Well, and it was. At one point, Japan had the highest rate of suicide in the world, which makes a lot of sense.
Well, they're 26 overall on suicide, and it's almost like a culture thing. I mean,
it is.
I think suicide also translates into something to decide, and a lot of people view it as almost honorable over there. It's just different
it's a cultural thing. It's a cultural thing.
And then there was a novel that was based around it that kind of glorified it, but then there's just they call it a haunted forest, so I see people treating it kind of like a haunted house.
Yeah.
But what he did was just okay, I understand he wasn't planning on finding a dead person, but just when he goes there and he's sitting there talking about how suicide's not a joke, blah blah blah, okay, And, he's putting, like, hotlines at the bottom of his video about and not monetizing it, trying to do something. But then when he
that's not true. He initially did have the video monetized.
Oh, I thought he didn't have it monetized.
No, the initial backlash.
I do know that he originally, when he posted it on Twitter, had hashtag comedy in it. Mm-hmm. And it was really disrespectful because him just the way he was filming it, and just like he's wearing that stupid hat that just every single video has it posted.
Yeah, he just looks like your typical dumb American tourist.
Yeah, but I was like embarrassed. Not for the whole.
No, I don't feel embarrassed for him. He's a fucking idiot.
No, I don't. No, I don't even feel embarrassed for him. I feel embarrassed that that's what people think an American tourist is going to be like over there. Because, okay, he did the dumb thing where he filmed it, but then what you were mentioning wasn't the worst thing he did over there. He posted like a video about like, hey, I'm in Japan. I'm gonna try not to disrespect the culture because it's all about respect here.
And then he walks around carrying a fish and an octopus leg, like waving it in people's faces.
Puts it on cars, smashes up against windows. Then he dresses up as like Pokemon and
it starts throwing Pokeballs at people.
He hits he doesn't hit, but he
throws a Pokeball at a cop.
Yeah, like kind of like he's like right next to a cop and he kind of like toss it, but he like kind of he hits him. If
he did that in the United States, he'd be shot.
Well, he definitely would be, like, any cop would have not put up with it. I know that they're a little more, like...
Well, if you go to anywhere else in the world, I wouldn't say South America, but everywhere else in the world, cops are usually good at their job.
Yeah?
Yeah. So that's probably why the cop has just looked at him like he's a fucking idiot.
And then he's, like, going around in that like, blue kimono and the rice
hat,
gathering
which
hat.
Which is not even a Japanese fucking hat.
No, isn't it, like...
It's Vietnamese.
Vietnamese, like the rice gathering hat.
Yeah, I mean it's not specific to Japanese culture. I should say that.
Well,
but it's like a farmer's hat.
It just was. He was just acting like a fucking asshole.
Yeah, he was acting like a fucking asshole.
And he acts like a fucking asshole here too. I get it. He does all that shit over here, but to all of a sudden, like, hey, I'm gonna change the pace of. Now I'm gonna take this super serious.
Yeah, like it's so unaware of the way that Japanese culture is.
I can understand if it was like live and he was doing this all recorded live, but I mean, you sat there and edited that video, or you paid someone to edit that video and was okay with it. And it just was disrespectful to the family and that guy, if it was a guy who was dead in the forest. Like, you think that's... The guy was clearly having mental issues.
Like, yeah, well, I mean, it's
and he went to kill himself in the forest. Yeah, and they're just sitting there like, well, like his teammates are like, oh man, I'm really freaked out. He's like, what? You've never stood next to a dead body before? And they start like cracking up. It's like, it's fucking sick.
Yeah,
it's fucking gross. It's terrible. I
hate to tell you this, but it's like a snapshot of American internet culture.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest with you. Like, I've been on the internet for a long time, and
that shit's everywhere over here.
Yeah, that kind of like dehumanization is pretty fucking common.
Yeah, I know, and it's sick. And
yeah, it is.
I don't know. I just think it was just a really dumb decision on his part. Not everyone's sitting there saying like that YouTube should ban him. I don't think it's the worst thing that's ever been on YouTube. I mean, there's people...
there's people advocating for genocide on YouTube, so, like...
No, but,
that pales in comparison, but it's still really fucking shitty.
I forget, someone was mentioning once that it's gonna eventually hit a boiling point where YouTube's gonna come down and say, like, look, you're not allowed... If you have so many subscribers and you're making money off of our advertisements and stuff like that...
These are things that are off limits.
Well, I think it's more gonna be, you have to send this video in for approval. Like, I think
it's going to be like a television network.
Yeah, I think it's going to eventually come to that. Mm-hmm. And they're just going to be like, if you have so many subscribers, you have to send in your videos for pre-approval.
That makes sense. Here's why it's not going to happen. Because YouTube's approach, since I think they came out in 2002, 2004, does that sound right? Maybe 2006.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyways, YouTube's approach has always been, let's pay as little people as possible to do absolutely no moderation whatsoever. including the whole new YouTube moderator thing where if your account is in good standing and you apply for a moderator position, you basically do unpaid work for YouTube.
So yeah, but eventually they're gonna have to start paying. They might have to because they're getting these advertisements. They're making a lot of money off of this.
I don't think that they are anymore. I think YouTube is losing money. I mean, you have ad blockers, you have all kinds of technology that's basically.
You think that you don't think that they'll do what I'm saying because
why do you think they have a paid subscription service now?
What, YouTube Red?
Yeah,
because
just like the YouTube Red is for people who can't install an ad blocker or people who use YouTube on their phone to block ads.
Oh, I use YouTube Red.
I know, but you also use it to like stream music and stuff, don't you?
Yeah,
that's what I mean. You're doing that from your phone.
Mm-hmm.
To my knowledge, I don't know of any ad blocker that works on your phone, but I know on your computer, on your desktop,
it just stops.
You can get an ad blocker that makes YouTube ads.
Yeah, I definitely don't use it for the content.
Yeah,
the YouTube Red exclusive. I just use it to get rid of the
it's
ad.
Fucking shit.
Yeah,
it's stuff like, what was that fucking guy that all he did was just scream and go at a fucking game? I can't remember his name now because he's fucking irrelevant.
What, PewDiePie?
Yeah, that fucking guy. Like, he had YouTube Red content. Why? What does he actually offer in his content that you can't get anywhere else? Any fucking idiot can put a game on there.
It wasn't about his content. It was about how many subscribers he had. And they thought, oh, let's give him a show and it'll make people subscribe to YouTube Red.
I don't even think he has that show anymore, does he?
Oh, if he didn't have it because it sucked, he definitely didn't have it after like his, the whole. Although I thought
the Holocaust.
Yeah, the Holocaust and
then going, I'm sorry, I'll never do this again, and then doing it again in like 3 weeks.
And then he dropped the N-word.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what he did. He did that like a couple weeks or a couple months after that.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty. Yeah, but I didn't want to spend too much time on the Logan Paul thing. I just wanted to address it because I just thought I thought the apology was kind of half-assed too.
It always is. I mean, look at who you're looking at.
Yeah.
He's like
a 22-year-old.
But he's also like an upper middle class person. He's detached from reality in more ways than one, which is why he thought that was okay to do.
Yeah, I think he thought that there was clearly some sort of like nice message, but it's like
I don't think he cared. I think everything that happened was an afterthought after the controversy. He's like, "Oh shit, damage control mode. I was trying to do
but I
something about suicide."
I don't think I honestly don't think he was sitting there trying to make fun of the guy who's hanging from a tree. I don't think that was the intention. I just think that he's not understanding that is not funny. And that is not something that should be handled by a guy, Logan Paul, a YouTube guy. That's not something that should be handled.
Who doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
He contributes nothing to society. I agree with you. I know what you're saying. I don't think he intentionally went there.
He didn't even intentionally go there to find somebody. He wanted to go about the whole, like, the
I'm not sure,
haunted aspects of it.
I'm not sure that's provable. But I want to say is, I don't think he intentionally went there with the intention to make fun of somebody who'd commit suicide. I think that he went there possibly to find something like that for himself to see it and maybe not film it.
But he was filming it the whole time.
And that was his genuine reaction.
I do, and
that's what's problematic.
Yeah, I mean, some people handle things like that. Like how I would see a dead body now, because not many people know this, but I was a funeral director, interned for a year, and like a year and a half. So I've seen my fair share of stuff. I've seen some stuff that nobody would want to see in their lifetime. But how I would take that is a lot different than how a lot of other people would take it. But I definitely know that there's just certain lines that people should not cross.
Yeah, you don't make a joke out of it and then laugh.
Yeah, you don't do it and then just automatically be like, oh, well, this is also an anti-suicide video. Suicide is just awful.
It's a serious thing.
It's a serious mental problem that you should 100% If
and there are people that kill themselves over not mental issues as well, financial issues.
Yeah, well, that's a lot of
illnesses that they know that they are not going to be able to.
They actually think that a lot of the reason why the people who go to Aokigahara is mostly because financial issues. Mm-hmm. Because of the economy over there, just sometimes screws people over.
That's a completely different discussion. That we could have. It's not really appropriate for our show, but, yeah, it's fucking stupid, and he shouldn't have done it. And I don't care if YouTube bans his account. I don't care if they take away his ability to monetize his videos.
I mean, apparently he's stepping away for a little bit, and it's mostly. I don't think that's out of to quote him, respect. I think that's just because he needs to take a step back from the limelight that the bad spotlight that got put on him.
Yeah, well,
because when CNN's covering you, for a YouTube post.
I mean, it's CNN, but yes. CNN is still watched by a lot of people.
You get what I'm saying? Most news sites, the New York Times, I think, was reporting on it. All of them.
Yeah, I'd say that if he does step away, I doubt that this will be why, but he needs to, become a mature adult. True. Because he's clearly not.
Yeah.
You could be 32 years old. I don't care how old he is. If you act like a fucking child, you're a child.
Fair enough. All right, Adam. Moving on to our next topic. Microsoft is officially killing the Xbox Kinect.
Thank God. And I want to talk about a personal story I have.
Okay. Well, hold off on the personal story.
All right.
And then we'll just kind of top it, and then you can go into it, okay? Is that fair?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so the Xbox Kinect came out with the Xbox 360. It was a slightly below modest hit. People were like, okay, this was clearly a competition for the Wii to try to get these motion controls. And
wasn't very good at it.
Wasn't very good at it. Had a lot of wonky problems.
I don't know if you remember when the Kinects couldn't detect black people.
I do remember that if it was too dark in the room. Yeah,
that was what the fuck? Like they didn't plan for that at all. That means they did. That means when they tested it, they didn't use any black people when they tested it. That's what that means.
They just didn't. I guess it didn't cross their head, but yeah, anybody who had like a darker skin complexion, a lot of them, if it was too dark in the room, would not get picked up. That's awful.
Yeah.
And then apparently, they were like, okay, it didn't really work, but we're gonna put it out for the Xbox One. And nobody wanted...
Well, nobody wanted it, but it was... I will say that the newer Kinect is mechanically better than the old Kinect.
Of course it was. It was definitely better, but it was an extra $100 to get it. And everyone's like, can we get it without the fucking Kinect? And they're like, no, we plan on supporting this for the whole lifespan, essentially, of the Xbox One. And it didn't. Was...
And they didn't.
Yeah. It's like... And so what they launched was... After careful consideration, we decided to stop manufacturing the Xbox Kinect adapter to focus attention on launching new, higher fan-requested gaming accessories across Xbox One and Windows 10, an unnamed Microsoft spokesman said. But I love that eventually it started making Xboxes that didn't even have the plug. They had to put an adapter in there to get it. Like, they fucked up and just they could not get any developers to work on it.
Yeah, nobody wanted to. And I got to be honest with you. Most of the use for the Kinect came out from outside industry.
Yeah.
Like there's medical uses for it, there's scientific uses for it, but as far as gaming goes, nobody's that interested. And that's what it was made for.
And Microsoft is getting rid of the adapters from store shelves and its official company or its website.
Yeah.
And let's see, what is this? Prices for the peripherals are now averaging $200 on eBay and $300 on Amazon. Ooh.
All right, so are you ready for me to give you my story? Because this is actually the story of how I quit working at GameStop.
Oh, yes, please. I want to hear this. I worked at
GameStop.
We both worked at GameStop for a little bit.
Yeah, not at the same time.
Not at the same time. No, we worked at the Exchange.
Yeah, I was at GameStop probably 2 or 3 years before I met you. But the day that I quit, I got into an argument with my manager. I've told you the story before.
Yeah, you have, but keep going. It's
okay.
Great.
All right. I don't remember this guy's last name, but his first name was Kyle, and he was a manager of the GameStop store. And
It's Robinson.
Yeah, it was
one
GameStop
near-
store 4821. So if anybody from this local area knows that store, maybe you'll remember this guy. He was very sure of himself, we'll say. But he decided to like get really, really angry, arguey with me about how the Kinect was the future of video games. And I was just normally, like, calmly retorting things he was saying because it wasn't making any sense. And he just kept getting angry and angrier. And that was the day that I was like, hey, you know what? I'm just not going to come in anymore. I quit. Because I just, like, didn't want to deal with his shit. But I just want to say to Kyle, whatever the fuck your name was, I fucking told you, you dumb piece of shit.
I didn't have anybody who was that sure of the Kinect. I did have someone once tell me that the PlayStation Move was going to be huge, but it's not.
And no, it wasn't.
Yeah,
it wasn't.
They were just like, oh man, if Nintendo can do motion controls, imagine what Sony can do with them. And I'm like,
it doesn't matter if Sony does something that's technologically better. Their general audience is not fucking interested.
Yeah, and people lost interest in the Nintendo ones too. So
yeah, nobody gives a shit about motion controls. They're not fun. They're gimmicky.
Yeah, the Switch has motion controls and they work fine. I mean, but I don't use them.
Do you ever find yourself being like, "Wow, I really wish this had motion controls"?
Maybe if I was the developer of Star Fox Zero.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
That game did not need motion controls. That game needed a normal control scheme, and it didn't fucking have it.
The fact that you had no option to turn it off was so... The definition of forced motion controls.
Yep.
That's the definition of it. Awful.
Yeah.
So...
Terrible.
Goodbye, Kinect. You won't be missed.
I fucking told you,
and
Kyle.
No one cared about you to begin with. So...
Listen.
You are the reason for Star Wars Kinect. You are reason for the Han Solo song.
Did we just talk about that last time?
We talked about, you said when we were talking about the Han Solo trailer film. And all you could think about was Han Solo, I'm Han Solo, I'm Han Solo.
Yeah, fuck that. God damn it.
Yeah, I know.
All right, so I'm pretty sure that Kyle guy was in the military, so I hope that nothing bad happened to him, so eventually he can discover this on the internet, and fuck you, I was right.
Okay. Adam?
Yeah.
You mentioned this before I had all the show notes written up, and you decided to throw this in last minute, and I thought, yeah, that's fair to discuss. And it is PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. The
developers.
The reasoning possibly why it did not come over to the PS4. Now there are hints.
As of right now,
there are hints and rumors that
it will.
After
eventually.
like a year or so on the Xbox One, it will go eventually over to the PlayStation. But do you want to take it a little bit and see?
Yeah. So apparently the developer PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds was in discussion with Sony about bringing the game there, and Sony basically told them that they weren't sure that what they were working on would meet their quality standards. And why this sounds weird is because if you've ever been on the PlayStation Network and like the store, do a search for Life of Black Tiger or Spear of Destiny, and
the Black Tiger.
Really take.
I've seen that game being played.
The Deer Simulator game. Really take a look at the quality of these titles, and then take a look at PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, and then ask yourself what the fuck Sony was talking about.
Yeah,
because it's laughable bullshit. Maybe when you do this segment, just put Life of Black Tiger, like the trailer for it. Which, by the way, also, I guess Jim Sterling a couple days ago uncovered that the Life of Black Tiger trailer has stolen music in it, and it's on Sony's official YouTube channel.
Well, that's just quality control that just needs really down.
That's Sony's dedication to quality right there. Can't have PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, but can have trailer for incredibly shitty games.
So I'll read you the quote that I have from an article that I pulled up from Chang Han Kim. He's the CAO of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds Corporation. He talked about working with the PlayStation brand and whether or not it will remain on the Xbox One /PC exclusively. So it says, as it's going to be an exclusive title on Xbox One for some time, we'd like to focus on completing the Xbox One PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds for now. If we have the opportunity, the final goal would be to launch the title on every platform. That's fair enough. Early access on Steam and the game preview of Xbox One are like pre-release, so they don't have a restriction on quality. However, PlayStation is very strict about this. There were cases where a game took 6 months more to launch, even when it's already completed. We are still in the stage of learning the console development environment and console gamers' taste. We need to think about other platforms after evaluating and completing the Xbox One version first. So, I mean, he didn't go
that's reasonable as shit. That sounds...
Yeah.
So, if you do have a PlayStation, you're mad you can't get PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. I don't think you have any reason to be mad at the developers of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
No, it's not their fault. It's just apparently that PlayStation's very strict about games that aren't complete. But that Black Tiger game that you're talking about,
it's barely
what's
even
it called
a
again?
Game. Life of Black Tiger.
Life of Black Tiger. That game is so shitty that it's running animation when the tiger is going up a hill. Like, so if you're running on flat ground, it's flat.
Yeah.
But when you're going uphill, the tiger still is just running on flat ground, but in a slant direction.
Yeah.
That's
and
awful.
It looks like N64 graphics, bro.
Yeah, it does look like the Hercules game, doesn't it?
Fuck.
It's awful. It's really bad.
The Hercules game is probably better.
Ooh. Well, we had a lot of fun playing that Hercules game.
Yeah, because it's so fucking bad. But
yeah, it's so fucking bad. Okay, Adam. Going into our next topic. The Nintendo Switch is officially the fastest selling home video game console in the U.S. ever.
Good.
I
just keep hearing all this shit that makes me sound like I'm going to be right. It's great.
About how you think it's eventually going to catch up on the PlayStation and the Xbox? I think it's probably definitely going to catch up on the Xbox. Oh, dude,
it's going to fucking shit all over the Xbox. You just wait.
I don't know. But I still don't know about that PlayStation. That's how many years ahead? Like 2?
Yeah.
That's a lot. I mean, it had the Switch come out around the Wii U, where it was before. I mean, it's already beaten the Wii U essentially in less than a year. I mean, technically, it didn't get released till like mid-March, if I remember correctly. Mm-hmm. So, I thought that was insane. So, congratulations. I mean, how much more praise can I give the Switch? Can this podcast give the Switch for just accomplishing what so many people were naysaying about, and that it would not be able to succeed? Nintendo was done. They're out of the business and all that. Clearly, it is just nonstop crushing, and it probably isn't going to stop anytime soon because already the Switch lineup coming out this year has a lot of good predictions. Possibly, I mean, there might be Metroid Prime 4 coming out. Maybe Bayonetta 3 is supposed to be this year, and so on.
Really, already?
I heard it was supposed to be rumored for this year, like late.
That's quick.
If that's true, that'd be great.
That's quick, yeah.
If true. But the other thing I thought was kind of interesting is the best-selling games on Amazon for 2017 were Super Mario Odyssey. And that
was the number one best-selling game?
That is the best-selling game on Amazon for 2017 was Super Mario Odyssey. And then it was followed by Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and the Switch version of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And then while... This is like a top 10. Yeah. While Splatoon 2, Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon, and the Wii U version of Breath of the Wild rounded out the top 10. I think number 4 was Horizon Zero Dawn. So
yeah.
So
yeah, it was, motherfucker.
I remember reading in it real quick. I don't have it listed, but yeah, I thought that was Nintendo's year is just insane.
Yeah,
they have like 6 of the top games. Mm-hmm. Because I think they classify Ultra Sun and Moon as like the same. I don't think they classify it as...
I think it is. Two separate games. It shouldn't be.
Yeah, it's the same game, just different versions. It's kind of like selling whenever you sell Fire Emblem, when they did the Fire Emblem Birthright and Fire Emblem Conquest.
Yeah.
The complete sales of all those games just counted towards Fire Emblem.
Yeah, because basically if you owned either game and you bought the DLC, you had all the games anyways. It was all the same game.
Yeah, well, unless you had that version that I bought off of you. Thank you for that, because I love that version. Yeah, the collector's edition of
with all three.
With all three on the same card.
Mm-hmm.
So you can buy the DLC, but I don't think you can buy the DLC for the... Well, you can get it all on one card.
Yeah.
If you buy the DLC, but you have to buy the digital version of Birthright or Conquest. If you picked one of those, you have to pick the opposite and then the middle one.
Yeah.
And so, but this one just has all of them on there. I love it.
The middle one's called Revelation, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where you don't pick a side. Okay, Adam. Next topic. Gaming disorder is an actual disease now, according to the World Health Organization.
Yeah. Well,
what are your takes on that?
That it was a mistake to call this that because it's going to be ripe for abuse now.
Yeah, I know. The description goes on to say that gaming disorders can include the following. 1. Impaired control over gaming. Onset frequency, intensities, duration, termination, context. Increased priority given to gaming to the extent that gaming takes precedence over other life interests and daily activities. And 3. Continuation or escalation of gaming despite the occurrence of negative consequences. To me, it just sounds like a lazy fucking person that just wants to play some fucking video games.
Yeah, what this sounds like is like the kind of person that loses their life to playing World of Warcraft. It doesn't sound like your average person who just plays games to unwind.
Yeah. People suffering from the so-called gaming disorder run the risk of significant impairment to their personal, family, social, education, and occupational lives, according to the World Health Organization.
I don't think gaming affects...
WHO. Huh?
The WHO?
Yeah, that's what it says.
Yeah, I know. I don't think I know anybody who is affected by gaming in that way.
No. It also continues to go on by saying that the gaming disorder can be a continuous condition or it can be episodic or reoccurring in nature. For it to be suggested that a person has gaming disorder, they would have to display these behavior patterns for a year or longer. So it's, I mean, like, I just don't really get why it's a disorder. I mean,
I could give you a slight insight.
I mean, do they classify like someone who's addicted to candy as like a disorder?
No, well, maybe they might give you an eating disorder diagnosis.
Maybe.
I would say that it seems like an excuse to sell more prescriptions to me.
I don't see anything about
because.
Go ahead.
The only thing that I would say is if you're playing games to the point where there's negative consequences in your life, like you're losing your job because you won't go to work because you want to stay home and game.
Did you ever see... You ever heard of the show Portlandia?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you ever see the... I'm not very familiar with the show, but I saw a clip of it when they're watching Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
Where they're like, one more episode. Wow, it's been 6 hours. Just one more episode. Oh, man. I lose all my 6 days. All right, well, we got more days. I just lost my job. Well, you don't have to go to work tomorrow. One more episode.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if it turned into a joke. But I mean, is that kind of what they're? It seems like what they're hinting at.
I think that's what they're talking. They're talking about people that play, MMOs for 20 hours a day or.
Here's another thing. It goes on to say.
I don't think this. I should say I don't think this applies to people who do like major league gaming. Or
no,
like
I don't think so.
Those
either.
people are technically doing it as a job,
and that's clear. I mean, to be honest, I feel like if those people really wanted to, I feel like they would. Like, you ever heard of the guy who plays Super Smash Brothers? He's like the best person in Super Smash Brothers, but he hates competing and playing Smash Brothers, but he has to because he like came all the way over here from like South America and just
that's all he does. That's how he makes his money.
That's how he makes his money. That's how he stays in America. But he's like, man, if I could stop playing this game, I would. But I'm the best at it, and I have to stay the best if I want to stay here.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of these people who are professional gamers would actually like not like to play their.
I'm sure some of them don't.
I'm sure they don't even like talking shop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like a baseball player, like you and a football player. They live it. Do you think they really want to talk about it all the time? Like you see those interviews, they fucking don't want to be there. It says this, the increased risk may be from the frequency of gaming, from the amount of time spent on these activities, from the neglect of other activities and priorities, from risky behaviors associated with gaming or its context, from the adverse consequences of gamers, or from the combination of these. The pattern of gaming is often persists in spite of awareness of increased risk of harm to the individuals or to the others. Now, here's my thing. So that was just what was just said there. Was just kind of like you're just constantly doing it and you're putting yourself at risk and all that. What if you just nonstop want to play a sport, a physical activity, or like do they diagnose someone who likes to work out a lot as?
What about people that work all the time?
Yeah, like workaholics. There's workaholics, people who are addicted to like the gym. You know, there are people who are like, I don't think it's been diagnosed as a disorder though. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm just some fucking guy on.
Let me tell you.
I'm a guy in a spare room doing a podcast. I don't know these things, but I'm pretty sure there's not a diagnosis for... Now, you
gym rats.
Yeah, gym rats, like shopping addiction. They're just kind of...
Well, no, there is.
There is a disorder for shopping?
Yeah,
or do they just call
compulsive buying.
Oh, really?
Compulsive shopper, yeah. Yeah, that
it's diagnosed by the World Health Organization?
I don't know if it's by the World Health Organization.
Or is they just called a shopping addict?
It's recognized by a lot of psychiatric professionals. Okay. But
then maybe they do have one for like working out too much.
They might.
But
not that I know of.
Not that I know of one with like them working out in sports, like playing. Like, what if you just want to play 24 hours football? I could play football all day till my body can't do it, and then I get up again and do it again. People wouldn't say that that's a disorder.
No, they wouldn't. It might lead to a disorder.
Might lead to something.
Yeah. I would say that the reason why this is being singled out is probably because gaming's kind of still considered, at least by the older generation, to be an antisocial behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Which doesn't make a lot of sense to me because most people play games online, chatting with their friends. That, you know, instead of spending $60 going out and having dinner and going to see a movie with your friends, you stay home and play games that you already paid for.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know. It's I think it's a little bit of something that actually exists and a little bit of overreaction.
There are some people though who find this really like offensive.
I don't.
I think I don't find it offensive. I do kind of agree though with this next article, and someone said. Who said this? Let me just see. This looks like a statement by ESA. Do you know what the ESA is?
Yeah. Electronic Software Association.
Okay.
They run the ESRB. Okay.
This says that the World Health Organization knows that common sense and objective research prove video games are not addictive, and putting that official label on them recklessly trivializes real mental health issues like depression and social anxiety disorders, which deserve treatment and full attention of the media or medical community. Where he strongly encouraged that the WHO to reverse direction on its proposed action.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I am standing.
I would agree with that.
It kind of does, like these serious issues we're just
there's an underlying issue.
It says like just like avid sports fans and consumers of all forms of engaging entertainment, gamers are passionate and dedicated with their time.
Yeah,
you know, like you wouldn't put that a guy who just constantly blows his paychecks and goes sees movies 24/7.
No,
I kind of agree with that last statement. I mean, if people are having issues,
this is.
I just feel like there's clearly underlying issues.
That are causing this. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's exactly how I feel.
And it's not the game itself.
Yeah,
that's just me.
Because if you think about what exactly gaming is, it's a pretty safe form of escapism. Like you could escapism by shooting heroin into your arm.
Yeah, you could.
And that's. Obviously,
I know plenty of people who have done that
directly.
And, let's just say they're not around me anymore.
Yeah,
there's. I mean,
it's a problem.
Yeah,
but I mean,
I don't want to say like they're not around me, like they're not like I abandoned them. They're dead.
Yeah,
because of that. I know like 5 people who have died from heroin overdoses. So yeah. I kind of wish that they would have just picked up a goddamn game or something, but they clearly had other issues.
And exactly, it's
there's a lot of mental disorders on this podcast.
You have to realize, yeah, I know we're talking about this a lot. You have to realize that there are different types of escapism. Some of them are safer than others. Sure, too much of anything is probably
not
bad.
a good thing. Yeah,
but like, are we really gonna? I should say, in the United States, anyways, some people have trouble considering chemical addictions like heroin or alcohol or nicotine, anything, as a health issue. But now we're talking about video game addiction as a health issue?
Yeah, that's where I have the issue.
That's a really fucking big leap when you just jumped over things that are actually killing people.
Yeah.
To something that every once in a while there's some guy that doesn't have any self-control who loses his job. Mm-hmm. Not a fucking big deal.
Yeah. I agree. I
mean, I can count on one hand the amount of stories in my lifetime where somebody gamed so long they died, and it's all not in this country.
I don't even think that they're necessarily saying that you're gonna die from it. I just think that they're kind of putting this on the level of, like hoarding, where that's like all you can do is just constantly, and to the point where it ruins your life. Your home is completely filled with
I don't think
shit.
that's impossible for that to happen, but again, we both said there's underlying issues there in that situation.
There are when I hear disorder, I think that is something wrong with you mentally that is impairing your life. I don't think
that only pertains to that one thing.
Yeah,
and that doesn't seem to be the case.
The game just doesn't make sense to me. Yeah. I kind of, as I said, I agree with that last statement. I do think putting a label on this definitely, like, it trivializes much more serious disorders that deserve more attention than
and that contribute
someone who
to
fucking
this.
Just plays games.
We'll call it a problem because some people do have this problem, but it's not a disorder. It's a problem that can be triggered by actual disorders that they're ignoring by doing this.
Yes.
Would you agree?
I agree very.
Okay,
Adam. Remember how not too long ago we were discussing, Disney might possibly buy Fox?
Yeah.
And that the conversation had kind of died out. And then, like, the next week podcast was that.
Yeah, they bought it.
Fox had officially bought...
or that Disney had officially bought Fox properties.
Yes, bought a lot of Fox's assets. Well, now there's a new rumor going around that Apple may be looking to purchase Netflix.
Yeah, I heard this too.
Yeah. Do you know, like, the story behind that?
No, I know you use an Apple computer, but if we're to talk about Apple's business practices, especially their planned obsolescence, their the software updates that render old hardware useless, even though it's totally not.
Yep.
Very dishonest company.
To be honest, I haven't been very satisfied with Apple for the last couple months with a lot of the news, and to be honest, I'm not very happy about this news either. Because what does this mean for Netflix? Like, you have to have an Apple product to be able to view Netflix? That'd be stupid.
I don't think that they would do that. That's the main worry for people. I think that would be incredibly stupid for them to do that.
Well, the thing is that Netflix garners in about $1 billion a month. So it's like, what is this possibly valued at? And it's like, people were honestly saying, why would Disney buy Fox? I'm getting all these properties mixed up. Why would Disney buy Fox properties to add to their Netflix Disney streaming service?
Yeah, there was a streaming service.
And not just buy Netflix straight up, because Disney did not have that much money. You can't, I mean, they're saying that Netflix could probably be worth around $60 to $85 billion. That's what Netflix could be worth. Now you're like, oh, well, the reason why Apple might be thinking, because obviously everybody wants a piece of the pie with these streaming service, because they are the current hot commodity to have that constant revenue.
I mean, let me put it to you this way. If that happens, I'm canceling my Netflix subscription right away. I'm not giving any money to Apple at all.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Well, the reason
care.
the reason why Apple is even considering doing this is because The reason is for the giant tax bill that was passed by Congress and signed in by President Trump, like the late end of 2017, that gives a one-time tax break for bringing in offshore accounts into the U.S.
Yeah, so what they're trying to do is dodge, which Apple is a fucking pro at dodging taxes as well.
Because they have $252 billion in off-sea holdings. Mm-hmm. And they're planning on probably bringing that in. With that much money, they could buy Disney.
Yeah.
That's insane that they have that much. So they'll probably take so much of a smaller tax cut from that $252 billion. Yep. That's so much fucking money. And so they're saying right now that it's about a 40% likely at this point that it could happen. And so you're saying straight up, I know you dislike Apple, but you're saying you just straight up canceling because you don't want to provide Apple with any money.
Yep. I don't care about the Marvel Netflix series. I'll live without them.
Huh. Well, I didn't think you hated Apple that much for that.
No, I'm not giving them any money. I'm not.
Just because you just don't like
I'm not saying that Microsoft is a better
company.
Yeah, I'm not saying that Microsoft is a better company. I'm saying that Apple is very open about the manipulative tactics they use to sell overpriced technology to fucking idiots.
As I sit here with my Apple computer.
Yeah, well, and you use iPhone too, but would you have gone out and paid $1,000 for that iPhone if you knew that instead of going to improve their technology, which they keep disimproving by removing features, to buy Netflix?
Wait.
If you
I'm
knew
so confused by that.
The money that you paid to them was just going to be used to buy Netflix instead of reinstating features like a fucking headphone jack that they removed from their phone.
Yeah, the headphone jack thing is so fucking annoying.
It's not only that. They've been removing features
They've been
for
removing
years.
features, and now it's like, oh, well, now you can unlock the screen with your face. I don't fucking need that.
Nobody needs that.
Unfortunately, Apple's just ever since...
That's actually another thing similar to that Kinect story about it not recognizing black people is that they were that face
the face
thing was having problems with Asian people. Yeah.
You serious?
Because they didn't fucking test it.
Oh, God. The thing is that my view on Apple is that since this is probably like such a fucking hipster thing to say, but I think Apple hasn't done anything innovative since Steve Jobs died. Like nothing.
I don't think they've done anything innovative before then. I think the last innovative thing that they did was the third generation color screen iPod.
The iPod.
Because after that, there's a distinct and pretty sharp decline in how much memory was in it, how like the battery life and everything.
I still have my iPod. You've seen that thing.
Yeah.
I still have my iPod. Yeah. I love that thing.
And it still works.
It still works.
And it's the old one.
Yep. It's my 160 gig model.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
I had a 320, and then after that, they came in 8 and 16. The next generation.
The Nanos?
No, the next generation of iPods came in 8, 16, and then a 32.
Oh, they stopped doing them that high.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they
charged the same fucking price.
Are you sure? More. I could have swore that I have like one of the last generations of the iPods that was like a high gig.
Yeah, you do. Well, you have the 4th or the 5th?
I think it's the 4th.
Yeah.
Like I think I purchased mine around the time when the Nanos, it was the generation after they did the dumb Bono version. Remember the dumb Bono one that was red?
Yeah.
That like a percent of the proceeds went to like help AIDS in Africa or something like that. But I got the generation after that. So I think the next generation was either full color screen. No, mine's color. I think that mine.
No, the third generation. Because it was the last generation. The first iPod, then there was like different memory versions of that, and then there was the video iPod, which had a really small color screen, and then there's the third generation, which had a bigger color screen. And then after that, they just had color screens. And then when they transferred from an actual hard drive to like flash memory, there was a humongous decrease in the memory
I definitely can hear the hard drive because when I boot that thing up, you hear the little mechanics working on the inside. Mm-hmm. It's definitely a hard drive like in there. Mm-hmm. And so you hear the thing like kind of boot up when it's quiet in my car. You hear it like go like...
And the problem is like the iPads and the iPhones, or not the, I don't want to say the iPads because I don't know dick about the iPads. even though they're pretty much just a
They're
giant
pretty much
iPhone that
just
doesn't
dynamo.
make phone calls.
Yeah, pretty much.
Um,
I've had a little bit of
but with
run around
with flash memory, like you can get pretty ridiculous amounts of flash memory now, and they're still what do they cap out at 128 gigs or something like that?
Flash memories?
No, the phones.
The phones don't even, I think, go up to 120
Yeah,
gigs
it's
anymore.
fucking
I
ridiculous.
think the max they go up to is like 64 gigabytes.
$1,000 for a phone that doesn't even hold a 64 gigabytes?
Yeah, because you're constantly paying like they used to do the thing where if you just did the 2-year program that you got them for like like $400.
Yeah,
but now
that's
you have to do
still
the payment
ridiculous,
plan.
dude. Because I can go get an HTC for like $124 with a 2-year contract.
Yeah, I'm just still used to my iPhone. I love my iPhone, I really do. But I mean, yeah, I don't want the annoyance of that headphone jack is just.
And
they need to ditch that shit. That thing was such a dumb fucking idea.
No, it was a fucking terrible idea.
It was a terrible idea. I don't know why you're like,
I don't want people to think that I'm just like some kind of Android fanboy because I would not buy Samsung either for the same reason.
Yeah, you just hate Apple. You are just an anti-Apple.
I don't like Apple as a company. I'm not that crazy about Samsung as a company either. They do pretty much the exact same thing with just a different operating system on their phone. Mm-hmm. So.
Okay.
There's that.
All right, Adam. Next topic. Here we go. The Slenderman. A little old. What is it? Scary pasta? What the hell is that shit called?
Creepypasta. It's an old creepypasta. It got turned into a YouTube series, which is actually not bad.
And then it got turned into a game.
Yeah.
Which I like that.
Basically, anything that came after Marble Hornets that had to do with Slenderman. Is not fucking worth your time.
Yeah. Well, the big thing with Slenderman is that I believe it was 2014, that the whole incident happened with the girls that stabbed their classmate, took her into the woods.
Was it 2014? I thought it was more recent than that.
No, I'm telling you. I think it was...
like 15 or 16.
I'll look it up. Okay, so Slenderman...
Because I think we covered that.
Stabbings. We might have. Slenderman stabbings occurred in 2014.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that was so long ago.
Yeah, it feels like it was only like... Yeah, I thought it was that... No, I thought it was like 2015 or something like that. But yeah, that's when the two girls took their classmate and took her into the woods and stabbed her 19 times to an attempt to impress the fictional character of Slenderman. One, that's fucking nuts. The other thing is, I don't really understand the whole logic of it. It's the Slenderman didn't ask for sacrifice of children.
No, he doesn't speak.
He doesn't speak. He just, I don't know.
He's just there.
There's apparently a document, like an HBO documentary, all about it and like what they thought about it, and it's awful. Thank God the girl survived it.
Yeah.
They didn't actually. I don't know how you survived 19 stabbings.
It probably has to do with what they stabbed her with.
Huh?
Probably has something to do with what they stabbed her
Maybe,
with.
but hey, at least she did not
die, yeah.
Yeah, at least it was a non-fatal incident, but God, that's awful. So what a lot of the people are kind of fussing up about is that they're coming out with a Slenderman movie now, which I think this is a second attempt. I think there was like a direct-to-DVD Slenderman, if I remember correctly, not too long ago.
Yeah, it's just not... I'm sorry, it's not that... It's been done, and it was done really well. Like, Steven Spielberg gave props to Marble Hornets.
Yeah.
So, you're not going to be...
So this is them to, like... A lot of people are having problems with it, saying that it's cashing in on a horrible, tragic event, and I'm going to call false on that.
I saw the trailer. I don't think it has to do with that.
It doesn't have anything to do with that.
Yeah.
They didn't seem to... I think they had
I think it's maybe people that are just too young to remember.
Maybe they just think that the movie is based off of the events.
Yeah,
but it's not.
That's what I mean.
It's apparently about... We're going to watch the trailer.
Yeah.
But apparently from what it's about, what I was reading, it's about these people who go to kind of disprove Slenderman, almost like a...
Blair Witchy type thing?
Yeah, but not like a first-person camera type of thing. But yeah, like a Blair Witch is kind of what I was thinking, like going into the woods, try to disprove it. And so we're going to check this out, and... Oh, God. What are we doing to ourselves with this? But we're going to check it out, and we're going to give you our takes on it. And we're back. Adam, we just watched the Slenderman trailer. What's your take on that, huh?
Okay, so all I can tell you is exactly what I told you before. Go watch Marble Hornets. It's a million times better. I see that they tried to take some of the cues from Marble Hornets, like the whole drawing thing, but that's not what they did in Marble Hornets. They didn't just write him.
I mean, maybe it was writing more to it. Maybe there was more to that sentence, but...
Yeah,
what? Okay. There are some parts I was like, that's kind of creepy, but what the fuck's up with the weird dated ring type, like, gross out, like the maggots and then, like, the needle in the eyeball and... Like, what the hell is up with all that? Like, that is ripped off straight from the Ring movies.
Okay, let me
like,
tell
I
you
thought the girl was going to crawl out of the screen after watching that trailer.
Let me tell you some problems with this. As somebody who is a fan of Marble Hornets and was around on the internet at the time the source material came out.
Same here, but not the Marble Hornets one. I don't know anything.
You should probably watch it. It's
I like the whole Slenderman mythos. I just don't like
That's really
this.
Who built the modern Slenderman mythos. There's a whole bunch of stuff about him being like able to get in people's heads. That's not really, I wouldn't call that canon unless it's new. The whole thing with like Slenderman making other people do things, that's not really part of the canon.
No, like I get maybe where people are getting a little irritated with these, like there are people who are writing petitions to get this removed from theaters, and it's like, I'm sorry, petitions are the dumbest fucking things ever. They're not. They're not
going to do it. Like,
I
agree with your sentiment. I agree with that sentiment, but like, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I agree that
the movie's already made. They're going to release it.
Yeah.
Who was making this movie again?
Let me find out.
I'm just curious.
Yes,
because I want to know who to be mad at.
Who to be mad at?
Yeah.
Let's see. I can't. It doesn't say who is an American. Who is making the goddamn thing?
Yeah, like which production companies? Really, what I'm.
Mythology Entertainment, Madhouse Entertainment, It Is No Dream Entertainment.
I've never heard of any of those fuckers.
No, neither have I.
We'll have to ask Sam,
the film,
because Sam might know some of them, considering it's a horror movie, but...
Going to be released by Screen Gems. That I know.
Is it really a Screen Gem, though?
It's American Film and Production Distribution, but it's only being distributed by them. Okay. So I understand where people are getting a little irritated by it, because it does kind of feel like it's like an all-girl cast. It seems, I didn't see a guy in that whole entire bunch. But,
I did, but I didn't see, like, he didn't seem like he was that involved.
Yeah, but it seems like a girl, like, coming out of the woods, like, all bloody. Like, okay, so yeah, maybe they are kind of playing off of the incident that happened. It does kind of feel like that is an inspiration for it.
Yeah, you know what? I'll give you that now. Now that it's fresh.
It's fresh. It does kind of seem like they are...
playing off that a little bit.
Yeah, like, because the girl comes out of the woods, the cops come and see her, she's all by herself, she's covered in blood, and then she has something in her hands, but
they don't show it.
The screen fades to black before they see it.
You know what? Also, the Slender Man being in people's minds and making him making the people do shit.
Yeah, that's another thing, because that's what they're saying. They were saying that the Slender Man was telling them that they need to sacrifice this girl to appease him. Awful. If you're doing that, and you're, like, marketing off of that, that's kind of shitty. I kind of understand the irritation with that. Overall, though, I think the trailer's just bad.
It's not a good trailer.
I actually wanted a Slender Man movie, but I don't like if this is the direction they're going with it.
Seriously, if you want... There's literally 3 seasons. Oh, whoops. There's 3 seasons of Marble Hornets on YouTube for free.
Mm-hmm. Is it actually called Marble Hornets?
Yep, it's called Marble Hornets.
And it's all based around the Slenderman thing?
It's literally, like, right around the time the Creepypasta came out, somebody started making this as a little film project that they made the first season, then they made the second season, then they just kind of disappeared for a little while, and then they finally came back.
There it is. Yeah, this is the one I was talking about. The movie is a film adaptation of the YouTube series Marble Hornets, called Always Watching. A Marble Hornets story. I'm like, wow, that looks like Slenderman, but it doesn't say Slenderman on it. I've seen this. This is the...
So you've seen Marble Hornets, or you've seen...
I've seen just this image on a straight-to-DVD
picture.
All right.
So, Yeah, because the actual Marble Hornets series on YouTube, it's clearly made by amateurs, but it's really well done. It's really well done.
87 entries chronicling the series and 92 episodes. 39 accompanying videos. Wow, there's a lot to dive into that. I might try to check it out because I like the Slenderman mythos. I think it's awful that it inspired that tragedy, but it's...
Yeah, I was going to say, Marble Hornets, they're not all like feature-length episodes. Some of them are 15 minutes long, some of them are 3 minutes long.
Okay.
You're also going to be missing out on the whole alternate reality game experience that was kind of woven into that.
Is that what the 7 pages was based off of the Slenderman game?
I don't. No, not in that respect. There was things released on the Marble Hornets channel that were like clues that fans of the show would figure out what's going on,
like Easter egg stuff that they would release, like marketing.
It would kind of change. Like the person who was uploading the video would like act as if they were interacting with the fans that were figuring out the
Got
shit.
it.
Like it was neat.
I'll check it. I'll maybe start checking this out tonight. Actually, maybe
Yeah.
maybe if I'm bored, I'll check it out. I mean, it says 97% of people like this show and has an 8.4 on IMDb. It's not bad at all, for sure.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I do think that overall the trailer isn't very good, and that if it is trying to kind of base it around that tragedy, that is kind of shitty, and I don't necessarily approve of that. But I mean, I'll check out the movie, and if it's good, if I like it, I like it. If it's bad, it's bad. Whatever.
I'm probably not going to go see it.
Oh, I'm not going to see it. I'll rent it or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to the theater. I'm not going to the theater to see a movie that's unless it's like the best movie of the year.
It's not going to be.
Yeah, I don't think it's either.
No.
Okay. All right, Adam. We have a new segment we're diving into. Oh, I see your face. Yeah. We were talking about this, and we used to have an old segment on the show that we used to call
Is It Shit?
Is It Shit? Which was kind of like a ripoff of like the ESPN's buy or sell whenever, or like dislike, thumbs up, thumbs down. It's kind of our variation of that buy or sell, thumbs up, thumbs down. But we're changing that a little bit. We still going to be kind of doing the same thing, but a little more summed up, a little more, what's the word? A little more,
shitty?
No, not shitty. I hope not. A little more centralized and a little more on track, where we kind of aren't going to go in too depth. We're just going to read a couple articles and right off the top what we think, and we're either going to kind of give it a shitty rating or a good one.
Yeah.
So we are calling this Rotten Shitatoes. Rotten Shitatoes.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad you could deliver that line without laughing this time.
Yeah, it took a while. I think I got all my laughs out. Rotten Shitatoes. So here we go, Adam. We are going to go off of the first couple articles off of ScreenRant.com. I'm going to go down a couple, and you're going to just give me a good or a no. Yeah. You're going to either give me the splat sign, or if you're going to hold your poop for something else. Okay? All right. Let's see. Star Trek 4, Chris Hemsworth unsure of status after Tarantino reports.
I don't know what to say about that. I guess. I mean, it's kind of shitty because he doesn't know what's going on. I don't know.
It's not about what. It's your take. Do you care? Don't care?
I don't care.
No. So you're giving it the splat because you don't give a shit about the Star Trek.
I'm giving.
But do you care about the Tarantino one?
I might go see that.
Okay, but
I mean, I'm more likely to see that.
But you're more interested in that than a Star Trek 4.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna say that it's pretty shitty. So I'm gonna give it a splatty. I almost said tomato. Splatty shitato.
Yeah.
Myself.
All right.
Star Wars: The Last Jedi has disappointing opening weekend in China, only making about $7 million.
Ooh, that's bad. That's real bad.
Yeah.
I wonder why that is.
It's mostly, I'll just real quick. It's because whenever Star Wars originally came out, there was like a big block on American media being distributed into China. So Star Wars just is not very big over there.
Makes sense.
So let me just verify if that was. Oh, sorry, $28.7 million. Still not very good.
That's still not good.
That's still terrible.
It's still bad.
It doesn't need China. It doesn't need China. So that sucks. So I'm gonna give it the splat. But
I agree.
Whatever.
Well, I'll give that
DC fans cosplay outside of WB to support Justice League Snyder Cut release. I splat the shit out of that because there is no Snyder release. I don't think that it's ever going to happen, and people need to just get over themselves.
Your time, yeah.
You're wasting your time. Splatting the shit out of that.
It wasn't a good movie. Just get over it.
It wasn't. Jumanji 2 passes $500 million worldwide, beating out Star Wars for the New Year's.
What?
Yeah. Beat out its fourth weekend.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought you meant the whole, like, the total.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
I mean, I'm going to give that a positive.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
I think it's fine.
I'll give it a solid
apparently,
loaf.
the movie's not too bad, and it's apparently better than what most people thought it would be. And Star Wars in its last weekend, so who cares? Ridley Scott has an idea for another Blade Runner sequel.
I guess good. I'll give that a solid.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a splat because the last one did so fucking terribly at the box office that no one gives a shit about Blade Runner apparently anymore. I do, but it's never gonna happen, so I'm gonna say no.
Okay, all right.
Chris Hemsworth wants to continue playing Thor after Avengers 4.
Okay, he's good at it.
Yeah,
I'll give that a solid.
That's definitely a solid for me. Ridley Scott thinks Weinstein will attempt to return within a year. Fuck him.
I mean, that's definitely a splat, but that's believable as shit. Like, I totally think that that's real.
Yeah, I know.
He's going to come back and be like, I'm reformed, I've changed, I'm a changed man now.
Fuck him. Splat that fucker.
Yeah, splat that motherfucker.
Lindsay Lohan campaigns for the role of Batgirl on Twitter.
I don't think that's a good idea.
I don't think that's a good idea either.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of sad that we're all agreeing on this, so. But Lindsay Lohan just... Look, I honestly don't hate Lindsay Lohan.
I don't either. I just don't.
She's just got problems, and I don't see her as Batgirl, so that's bad. Todd McFarlane says Spawn reboot isn't a superhero movie. Okay,
that's up to him.
Well, do you think that's a good idea to have it?
Sure. That's a good idea. I mean, Spawn's not really a superhero anyways.
Yeah, I think he's kind of...
So, yeah, I'll give that a solid loaf.
Yeah, solid loaf. You're going to keep it? Yeah, I'll give that too. Let's see. Keep going. Let's keep going through a couple more. Showtime has not asked David Lynch about a fourth season of Twin Peaks.
That's immediate diarrhea, explosive diarrhea, bro.
They said that they just haven't discussed with him yet. Do you think that they should be?
They better stop wasting his time because he's getting old.
Yeah.
He's getting old.
I'm kind of torn. Like, yeah, I want another season of Twin Peaks, but it's like, maybe you don't need David Lynch to direct all 18 episodes.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I think that was a lot to ask of him. I think just maybe have him on the right, because my biggest problem with Twin Peaks was
Season 3.
Season 3 was all about that. It was too Lynchy for me personally on a lot of aspects, and I think that there wasn't enough Frost and too much Lynch.
I'll agree with you on that. I mean, I loved it either way.
Yeah, I loved it too.
But yeah, I'll agree with that. That maybe there wasn't enough Frost. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, right now, I'll give it the splat because I think they should at least involve him if they're going to plan on doing it. Apparently, it was pretty successful for them. Mark Wahlberg, $6 billion man film starts shooting this summer.
I don't know how to feel about that.
What do you mean? You don't know if you want it or Mark Wahlberg?
I definitely don't want it, but is it bad?
I'm going to give it okay.
You're going to give it an okay?
I'm going to keep my shit for it. I'm not going to splat it just yet.
I'm feeling pretty constipated right now.
Yeah, you so you're going to hold on?
Yeah, I'm just going to hold off, yeah.
Okay. Not throwing anything like that. Sylvester Stallone hinting at Expendables 4 next. I thought Expendables 3 was terrible, so I'm splatting the shit out of that.
The only thing that was good about Expendables 3 was Wesley Snipes' opening joke.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to splat that too. I'm mad at him.
Why?
Just because he's a fucking, douche.
Okay. Deadshot and Lobo DC Comics movies no longer in development. I actually am going to say good.
Yeah, that's...
Lobo.
That's probably the
they
biggest
had Lobo
solid
plan.
Lobo ever dropped.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't want Will Smith involved in comic book movies.
I just thought Lobo was a terrible idea, and I think Deadshot's just not enough to make a fucking movie about.
No,
they couldn't even do it with Suicide Squad, so why the fuck do I think that Deadshot deserves a full fucking movie?
Yeah, by himself.
Mm-hmm.
Think about this. What was Will Smith's last movie? Oh yeah, Bright on Netflix, which is one of the worst fucking films of this year.
Ooh, okay. Well, then you're not gonna like the next one. Bright sequel is being developed by Netflix now.
Why? Massive diarrhea, explosive elephant diarrhea to that one.
I'm gonna do the hippo with they wiggle their tail and they spray shit everywhere.
Spray shit everywhere. Yeah,
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, that movie's just fucking like cop porn. That's all it is.
It's not very good. Spider-Man: Homecoming sequel starts filming in June.
That's excellent.
Yeah, excellent.
I'm down for that.
Get that shit out there immediately.
Yeah, dude. That was a nice, easy, comfortable poop.
You're confusing me because if you're pooping, then you're splatting.
No, there's no splat, man. That was just a...
Oh, you're comparing it to diarrhea. If it's diarrhea, then you're splatting. If it's just a nice solid poop, then you're keeping your poop.
Yeah.
Got it. You're keeping your shit.
Yeah, I'm talking about the quality of the shit. Okay, I get what you're saying. You're talking about holding on to your shit.
Mm-hmm, I'm holding it. I already shit it. It's whether or not it's the same thing with the tomatoes.
So Bobby's shitting in his hand, whereas I'm having a healthy shit or an unhealthy shit. I think we didn't discuss this well enough when we started.
Well, we did just do this off the cuff, so
yeah.
I'm throwing shit at you because I hate you. Okay. Margot Robbie received death threats and stalkers after Suicide Squad. Let's be fair, she's always had stalkers. Death threats, that's awful. So splatting that, the suicide, the stalkers, it's Margot Robbie. Of course she's gonna. I'm splatting them both anyway. Stalking her in England right now. So.
I think Nathan's just posting sweat emojis.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's bad. That's definitely diarrhea.
Kendrick Lamar is going to be doing the music for Black Panther.
I'm a little torn on this because I'm not a Kendrick Lamar fan, but I also support the black community's right to have hip hop in the soundtrack for a black centric movie. I don't see any problem with this. Okay. Basically what I'm saying.
I love Kendrick Lamar, so why would I splat this?
Yeah, I'm not going to splat it either, but I don't like Kendrick Lamar.
Okay.
I don't have anything personal against him. I'm not a fan of his music. That's all.
That's fine. All right, though. That was our Rotten Shitatoes segment. Mm-hmm. We just went through... How many of those did we go through real quick? We went through... what?
Was that 20?
That was a good amount. I'll do it when...
20 Dukes?
20 Dukes, and whether it was thrown or not. Who? Okay. All right, Adam.
I think my bowels are regularly evacuated right now.
I'm gonna bring this segment back, and we'll discuss what qualifies for you shitting and not shitting good or well or bad or whatever. Because you were talking, I'm like, you're taking a dump, but on the thing or no? So we'll come back to Rotten Shitatoes.
I think I didn't understand what we were doing.
No, but... I did just throw you into it. So. Yeah. But Rotten Shitatoes, I'm happy about that. I can't wait for Rotten Shitatoes 2.
Yeah.
Rotten
Shitatoes 2, Bright 2.
Yeah. Rotten Shitatoes 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
All right, Adam. But that was it. That's our show for today. We finished up the show, and... that was a nice show. I had a good time with that.
Wasn't bad.
And we wanted to do something that we haven't talked about in a while. Real quick, I just wanted, before we finished off the show, we want to talk about our good friend, Matthew Danko.
He's back.
He's back, finally, into the podcasting stream.
Yeah.
We no longer the Matthew Danko podcast, ... don't call it that. But he's back with a new podcast, Why Did Not You Warn Me? Where I guess he'll be doing a podcast with his friend Hillary Crum, who will be... I
mean, it's basically the same show.
It's mostly the Matthew Danko show with Matthew Danko podcast
with a different co-host.
But he has a co-host this time. He was by himself with
before. Yeah.
I hope did I get his co-host's name right?
Yeah, Hillary Crum. Yeah.
Okay, I thought so. I just didn't want. I hope I didn't mess that up because whatever. But it's a good show. Check it out. It's just a nice little banter show, and they just kind of talk about what they did that week and in like some pop culture news. And I heard that Hillary Crum doesn't like Batman, so I don't know how you haven't thrown her off that show yet, Danko, but just letting you know that you always have a supportive group, and whenever you want to come and talk shit with us, and why did not you warn... I'm gonna get used to the title, because it is really... He discusses
it's a mouthful.
He discusses where he came from. He had like a brain fart, and like, why did you not warn me? Why did not you warn me? And he discusses why it is called that. So check it out. I believe it's just facebook.com. Why did not you warn me? Look it up there and subscribe and follow and give him a shout out from us. If you went over there, tell him the guys talking about shit said hi. But also, speaking of the guys talking about shit with us, don't forget to like us on Facebook or on Twitter. You can follow us there. You can send a shout out to that.
To the YouTube channel.
Yeah, where we update that pretty regularly. And I'm pretty much on Twitter a good amount. I don't post too much, but I do a couple things here. And so if anybody has a question or a topic they'd like us to discuss, just comment below.
We will interact with you.
Yeah, I've interacted with a couple people.
Yeah, we're just normal people, so...
Yeah, if you have anything you want to talk to us about, tell us you like us, tell us you fucking hate us. I don't fucking care, really, to be honest.
Yeah, if you tell us you hate us, I'm probably just not going to answer you.
No, I probably will. I'll probably just say thanks for the, thanks for supporting the GTAS podcast. Yeah. Because...
You're just going to give them like a fucking computer message, basically?
Yeah, I'm just going to say, hey, thanks for supporting the podcast. But, yeah, no, but that's pretty much it. Adam, you got anything else you want to add?
I'm kicking around the idea of giving away a copy of Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it yet.
All right. Well, let me know. We'll keep you updated. Keep us updated on that.
Yeah. I mean, that'll be months. That'll be months away. I think it's May. I want to say.
Okay.
May.
Well, let us know, and that way we can start shooting around something on Twitter and stuff like that for people who might be interested.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, we're going to do it a little bit different than our past giveaways.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have to do that. So, all right, everybody. So, thank you again for listening, and until next time, farewell.
See you.